What's up, BC? It's Cosmic Vinyl time. Because, you know why? Because I'm out there. Anyway, this little contest video. Getting in right under the wire, probably, as usual. I've been putting it off for a little while, but, little contest video. What's going on here is we are giving props to somebody here in the VC who's a major presence, Mr. Hall of Fame, Brandon. Tons of subs. Tons! 3 tons of subs. 6,000 subs. That's pretty major stuff. So, first of all, Brandon, congratulations. And that is just, I can't even fathom that. I can't even fathom 200. So, but again, I like how you so eloquently put it in your video, how you told the story about someone that told you if you put a little more production or whatever into your videos that you could have thousands of subscribers. But I'm glad you kind of stuck to your guns, because look at where you're at, man. You don't do the big production, you know, all the editing and stuff. You're just a guy showing records like the rest of us average Joes, and I appreciate that about your channel. Brandon has a great collection and a great knowledge base about his collection. Yeah, knows the artist, knows the art itself. Lately been into a lot of the Japanese pressings, of which I've not even dipped my toe in that river yet. So, but yeah, just a great knowledge of the output that he shows, and I can only imagine what is an amazing collection of vinyl and CDs and just music in general. So, Brandon's got a great voice. He has a great presence on camera, and he's got the it factor. So keep rocking, Brandon. I'll keep watching as long as you keep putting them out. I'll be there watching. I've taken your advice many times about different records, and went out and got them just on your recommendation alone. Sorry about that. Alright, so yeah, just a great, enjoyable channel, a great guy. Oh Lord, why do I always put these so far away? Hold on, y'all. See, no editing here in the cosmic realm. It's all real. Although I would like to do some editing, maybe edit in some cool stuff, some cool ideas, but I have no savvy as far as that goes. So anyway, starting off with, and I'll get to the contest here in a second, but this is a record that I've already shown a while back, but this is something I picked up recently by a group called Portion Control. It's like alternative synth. I don't even know if it's synth pop. It's more alternative than pop. It's called Psychobod Saves the World. It's got some crazy ass art. The song that I was playing when we first moved in, or when I first came in, was Brainscape or Death Dive. Here's just the inner sleeve. I love this stuff. It's just experimental, electronic, just a lot of sonic craziness and sampling, and I dig it. So anyway, that's not what it's about. But so moving on, here's the contest for 6,000 subs. there's like 5 questions here. I'm gonna try and keep it short, but I know I won't. It's just the nature of my beast, anyway. But the first question is a scary song or scary lyric or something that a song that creeps me out. I haven't watched any videos for this. I maybe 1 or 2, so I have no idea what everybody else is showing. But I'm gonna guess that there's been a few people who have showed this. And I actually showed this on a recent video for Halloween in July too, for B-Side Records. But this is my Japanese Vertigo copy of Black Sabbath, and it does got a little writing on it, but great record. The song Black Sabbath on this record really used to give me the willies. I was brought up in a Christian household, a very strict. Why am I doing that? Lionel Richie told me not to, and I'm doing it anyway. I was raised in a very strict Christian home, and to hear that, especially on headphones with maybe a little weed in me or in my mind, fogging it up, that song used to freak my shit, basically. So there's that one. I'm sure a lot of people have. But here's something that is going to kind of freak you guys out. Is, I know this is just your K-Tel, this is nothing, but I love these K-Tel comps. I mean, I used to have a lot of these when I was younger, and there was a song on here by the Ohio Players, which is right there, and it was Love Roller Coaster. And I think I told this in another video too, that I was always told that during the recording of the song Love Roller Coaster that somebody was murdered in the studio. They were stabbed to death, and that you actually can hear a scream in the background that is supposedly the person being killed. So actually on my original copy when I was a kid, I wrote "kill" underneath there. Me and my brother used to rewind it or set the needle back. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Crazy kids and their crazy music. But anyway, but this is the one. I know I'm taking liberty here and doing more than one, but this is the first song that I remember that freaked me out to no end, to the point of like a bad car wreck that you just can't help looking at it over and over again. This is Blood Rock. Blood Rock was set to be like an American version of Black Sabbath. Obviously they didn't make it that big, but there is a song, my uncle had it on a 45. It's called DOA. It happens to be on this record here. DOA is a very graphic depiction of a guy and his girlfriend, maybe, that were either in a plane crash or a car crash, and how they're one is dead and they're dying and they're missing limbs and there's blood, and yeah, this is a creeper. I mean, obviously the cover is even a little creepy on here, but that song DOA by Blood Rock describes what it could only be the aftermath of some sort of horrific trauma, where his girlfriend is dead with that blank stare in her eye, and he's looks down where his arm used to. I mean, it's just you gotta experience it for yourself to get the real. But it freaked my shit for a long time. So yeah, that's the creepy lyrics and creepy songs that I'm going to use for my first question. The second one is, what's stressful about collecting records? What stresses me out? That's easy. Money. That's the whole thing. I don't know how y'all are. I mean, I always see people and how they have so many records and so many great pressings and original pressings and stuff, and I just wonder, you kind of wondered, God, how do you afford all that? And because I seriously have to scrape it all together. I mean, I work 2 jobs and I play in a band, and I still have to scrape my money together to get records. I mean, I have a family to support and stuff. So the biggest thing for me is money. And a budget. It's trying to stay within a budget. Another thing is deciding, what to leave behind. If you're on a budget and you're at the record store and you've got maybe 5 or 6 records, maybe you can only take home 3 or whatever. Stressing about which ones to leave behind. And I don't know about how your mind works, but mine works like this, that I think, well, maybe if I leave this one, I'll get this one because I know it's, somebody will probably pick this one up. If they see it, they'll get it. But maybe if I leave this one, no one will pick it up. It'll still be here because it's kind of a common, the weird things that you think of and how you strategize what you're going to do about getting records. And that's my stressfulness. And it's also my anxious excitement, nervous excitement about the whole thing, the hunt and the money, how you're going to get it, and, all that. So I've been moving out of the area of quantity into a more quality. First of all, because of the money, I'm just going to spend my money on records that I'm always going to spin. And I'm also running out of space, so you can't just buy everything just on, because you think you might need that in your collection, or you want to be a completist or whatever. Space is a big issue for vinyl collectors, I'm sure. And another thing is letting go. If I want to get together some records to take down to the record store and maybe get some store credit. Which ones do you let go from your collection? That's another point of stress for me. So I'm sure we all share these common woes and as being part of the vinyl community, but those are mine and how they affect me. This one I liked the best. 3 songs or records that represent major events in your life. And I think I've commented on similar questions on different threads and stuff, and I've probably used this before. But I'm gonna start off with "Kiss Destroyer." I have a couple, 2 or 3 copies of this record, but this is probably one of my better ones. But shout it, shout it, shout it out loud. Love it. Kiss Army. Let's get nuts. Join the Kiss Army. Everybody, we should all just sign up for Kiss Army and be the army. Anyway, Kiss Destroyer. God, what a great, great record. This is Kiss at their most badassedness right here. For this represents a point in my life. Come on, YouTube, use this as my... Anyway, songs, this represents, it's kind of a coming of age. This is a coming of age record for me. I remember it being in 5th and 6th grade, and first off, I think I seen the Paul Lynde Halloween special, and Kiss performed on there live. I think it was probably a lip sync thing, but I just remember when I seen it, that was my Beatles Ed Sullivan show moment, where a lot of artists, even Gene Simmons says when he seen the Beatles perform on Ed Sullivan, that was it for him. He was gonna be a rock and roll star no matter what. And I'm telling you, when I seen Kiss on the Paul Lynde Halloween special, that was kind of my Beatles on Ed Sullivan moment. I was like, not to be a rock star, but that I'd never turn back. I was rock or nothing, man. And this was a rebellion. Like I said, I came from a really religious upbringing. I had to hide this record. I had this record and I had to hide it, and I had to hide all my Kiss paraphernalia, and because my folks weren't having any part of these knights in Satan's service. But anyway, yeah, this represents rebellion. This represents a coming of age. This represents this is the forbidden fruit, if you will. So yeah, Kiss, shout it out, or not shout out loud, but Destroyer has songs on it like Detroit Rock City, God of Thunder, Flaming Youth, Shout It Out Loud. I mean, endless. Shout It Out Loud is just an anthem. I think that's their best anthem ever. So, another one for me is this Guns N' Roses record. I know you're probably getting some glare there, so I'll pull it. But yeah, this is an OG right here of Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction that I, with the original band cover, found this for $6 in like a secondhand store in great shape. There it is. Just a great record. But this represents me and my friends. We're all in bands and all crazy and just living the rock life. We decided to leave small town Iowa and move to Dallas, Texas, where there was a budding rock and roll scene down there. Not on the Sunset Strip LA type of scene, but a scene nonetheless, and we wanted to be part of it, so we went down to Dallas and moved down there. This was the soundtrack for our lives down there. We went through probably 4 or 5 cassette tapes of this, and just it was amazing. We looked like that. We did probably way more things and put things in our body that we should have never have done, but yeah, you know, Dallas, Texas. The first time I ever moved, me and some guys packed up all our gear and just headed out in my van and stayed there for a long time. So yeah, it was my that was our soundtrack. So yeah, that's a big part, as well as stuff like LA Guns, their first record, and also this Faster Pussycat record. Those were all our heavy rotation as we partied our brains out. So this other one is Nirvana, Nevermind record. This represents probably the most important time of my life. That I would get up on stage with a band. This is my first time getting up performing on stage, but the first time that I invited the gal that would become my wife, I invited her to come down for our first date, to come down with me and my friends. I was going to get up and sing a set of songs with the band that was playing that night. I'd already made all the arrangements, learned all the songs, and one of the songs was the song off of this record. It was Come As You Are, and yeah, she was like, yeah, that sounds like something I'd want to do. She came down and, you know, sat with me and my friends. I got up and performed, and, you know, that was basically our first date. She stayed at my apartment and basically never left. They were still on that first date. She never moved home. In fact, she never ever went and stayed at home ever again. So this reminds me of that, because of the Come As You Are. I don't even remember. I think the band was called the Ski Band or something like that. But that, and another song that was off of this album, I did American Band off this Grand Funk LP. And I also sang Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band on this. So that, and so those are just some important records in my life. But that last one was me and my wife's first date we ever went on. The albums I showed were some of the songs I sang when I got up on stage, and she seemed to dig it enough to, or dig me enough to hang around. So, yeah, that's the event. The next question was, sorry, I had to write some of this down, but 1 to 5 songs of places I've been. That was probably the hardest one for me. I don't have a lot of stuff in my collection, but lots of songs come to mind. I've been to places, like I said, Dallas, Phoenix, LA, Mexico. I've been to a lot of places, traveled a little bit, Canada, Jamaica, just been to a few different places, Kansas, Chicago. So I just picked a few records that had songs on them that represent places I've been. I mentioned Dallas, Texas, so I'm going with this Wasp record. It's The Last Command. Has a song on there called Blind in Texas. Look at that. Is that friggin' cool or what? Wasp. Anyway, a song called Blind in Texas. If you're a metal fan or a Wasp fan, you know that it's a song about getting drunk in Texas, and finally the guy says you're not getting any more alcohol, and he starts singing about all his drunken debauchery. But it talks about Dallas, Houston, El Paso. But yeah, that reminds me of my days of living in Dallas, and used to be in another one of our theme songs back in the day. But so there's one, that Blind in Texas by Wasp. These two kind of go hand in hand here. Motley Crue, who was definitely the representation of Los Angeles, California. I mean, if there was a band that represented LA, as far as I'm concerned, the Sunset Strip, glam rock, hair band, metal scene, would be Motley Crue. And the song on here is Wild Side, talks about East LA, talks about different, the whole song is basically about Los Angeles, California, and a place that I, at an early age, ran off to, just basically threw my shit in a garbage bag, and me and my friend just headed west. Literally, just got on a highway that said west, and no plan, no nothing, and just on a whim, and went to LA. And we were quite shell-shocked by what we seen when we hit the Strip. So, early to mid 80s. So you're looking at full-blown scene that was going on there. Sunset Strip. This record here, Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue, has a song called Terror in Tinseltown, which is basically, they're talking about, again, about Hollywood, California. And so that's another one. Another place that I've been, by the way, when I decided to come home from LA, stole gas all the way home, got caught once, traded some goods that I had for gas money, and they let me go. I should write a book. This is a group called Paper Lace. They had a song called The Night Chicago Died. And Chicago, another place I've been. The Night Chicago Died. So those are just a few places I've been. Oh, wait. I've been to Mexico. So how about my Wall of Voodoo album here, with their hit song, Mexican Radio. Right there, as the hype sicker says. And Mexican Radio is on this album, in case you were wondering. But yeah, Mexican Radio, Wall of Voodoo. Still in the shrink. I've been to Mexico a couple different times. Loved it. Had a blast. Partied. Lived through it to tell. So those are some songs about some places I've been. This was another one I thought was very interesting. Two people you've never talked to about music what do they like as far as bands and music. I talked to my brother or my niece and her husband. They're newlyweds. Were in town for the weekend, so I asked them, what they like, and he actually said he likes Motley Crue, and which I thought was an odd thing because he's a younger man, and Motley Crue's always been like for me around my age of people like Motley Crue, but he, not only did he like Motley Crue, he talked about how he liked Godsmack. Great for lifting weights too, and he liked Motley because they were the real deal. There was as many don't give a fucks, if pardon my French, but he liked that kind of band. Also, he talked about Biggie and Tupac. So yeah, and then my niece represented more pop side. Likes Adam Levine, Kenny Chesney. Not all bad. I guess that's country, I think, right? And Seven Mary 3. So, yeah, just kind of a different, you try and talk to people about music, and you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't even listen to music. I mean, I can't even fathom that people would say they don't have a favorite band because they don't really listen to a lot of music. I believe it. I mean, I shouldn't believe it because it shouldn't be true, but people sometimes don't take the time to listen. That's why I like vinyl. You actually have to interact with your music. You have to take the time to remove the record from the sleeve, to put it on the spindle, to take the needle and set it on. I mean, there's an interaction there between you and the music itself, and it causes you to be involved with the music, and that's why I like vinyl. I mean, it's just there's no magic. I mean, sure, there's the nostalgia of it as well, but I want a relationship with music, and I have that, and I just can't fathom that other people don't, and that is crazy because I measure everything out by what I listen to. A song reminds me of a time, and I can tell what year that was by the song, and that's how I measure my timeline. It's a soundtrack, life soundtrack. So anyway, I'm getting off track now. But anyway, Brandon, congratulations, man. Mr. Hall of Fame, Mr. HOFF AME, if I got that right. If you don't know his channel, you better check it out because it's amazing. And once I discover a new channel, I did the same thing with Brandon's channel. I go back and I binge watch all their past videos. So have fun doing that. I guess that's it. Congratulations again, great contest. I hope I got in time. Everybody else get involved in this. Next up for me will be a Vinyl Finds video. God bless you guys. Have a great night tonight. Have a great day tomorrow. Peace be with you all. Rock and roll in the VC. Love you guys, man. Peace be with you.